is bigger than Civic and more money. Yeah, true. Thank you. Hi, Bart. Hola, what's up, Jose? Let me be with you. Good morning, Captain Caveman. Awesome cars, the cord is bigger, better. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Well, up until I was, so when I got my license and everything, I drove that diesel truck for, up until I was 19, I didn't have my own car until after that. I got a Mitsubishi Eclipse. That was like my first car that I paid for. But I grew up driving that truck, and I actually later on I went to buy that truck from my dad. So I did buy it later on. But I have problems. Those of you who know the whole story and everything, but I eventually got a Nissan 370Z. It was stolen. Somebody stole it, and thankfully, like 3 or 4 days later, it somehow like had some type of, like, the people who stole it, they rewired the whole system, so like my key didn't even work with it anymore. There was only one key to it, and I didn't leave it unlocked or anything. They just were like masterminds and broke in and took it and everything. But the wiring got messed up in it, and it was found on the side of the road in Dallas. So I had that car stolen, and then when I also bought that truck from my dad, people were trying to like key it and try to open it. And I knew I lived in a bad area. That's how I saved a lot of money for my house, was because I lived in bad areas. And so I constantly had people breaking in. They broke into the Eclipse multiple times. They broke into my Z. They stole my actual Z completely. And that was like the worst time of my entire life. I literally cried my eyes out. I was so sad. I was like the first nice thing I ever had in my life. And I worked so hard for it, and somebody just took it. But anyway, it all worked out because we did find it. And also, I had to pay a $1,000 deductible for my own car being stolen. We love the logic of insurance. We love it. But I'm just grateful to have gotten it back. But yeah, those were the only cars I had. And then I had my Honda. And then I got this other Honda. So, it's fine. Honestly, some people that happens to, and you know, they never find out who took it. So I feel like God was on my side, and he was looking after me, and whatever the wiring issue was, they clearly were very, very good at that, because I had the only key for my car. My car was locked. Nothing, like, I'm always very cautious about stuff like that. And they literally like took out the camera out of it, took everything out, and took it and rewired the whole system while I was like sleeping. It's kind of creepy. Read my comment. Read my comment crack? Huh? I will broke into your heart today. Yeah. If you have a good credit, at least a new car is better. But you're not going anywhere, I know. Isn't it sad? It's kind of low-key depressing. I'm just kidding, it's fine. I was shining like the sun, thank you. But yeah, I had people, you know, in California, people used to peel off my registration off of my car and put it on their car. When I used to live right next to a base, and we only had one parking space in California, and when I lived with my brother, because my brother had to take his car every day to work, I got the short end of the stick, even though I paid half the rent. And so I had to park on the street, and so people would just peel off my registration. F my life. Yeah, Camp Pendleton. I would. Oh, really? No, White Eclipse? That is crazy. I feel like they're kind of, I know that people would scold me for this, but I feel like they're like, the shape of those cars are similar. So like if you like one, you probably kind of like the other. Maybe not to the same extent, but you know. California is crazy expensive. I live here. Yeah. It wasn't that bad when I lived there because I lived in an apartment. I went from living in apartments to, and like sharing rent and stuff to going back to Texas and like eventually getting a house and stuff. So it didn't feel that expensive back then, but aw, thank you. He said, you need a hug, girl. It's all good. Trust me, that was the best scenario that could have happened, y'all. My thing is like, I'm a very much a principle person. Like, I don't care if I'm out money as long as like, as long as they didn't get my car and like sell the pieces of it, you know, and just like part it out for money, as long as they got nothing out of it. That brings me so much happiness. Like, even though I had to pay $1,000 deductible for someone stealing my car, I still don't care because they got nothing. They got nothing out of it, you know? And that's enough for me. I wish they would have gotten, like, caught, you know? Obviously, that would have been ideal, but it's, like, the best scenario. Aww, it is such a violation. That's the thing, is it's such a gross feeling. And you know, and the other thing is too, when you work your butt off for something, especially like if you grew up like I did, like I didn't have stuff handed to me. I had to work my butt off. Like I had nothing. Like I literally bought the cheapest of the cheap. I lived in like the crappiest areas. I dealt with the most annoying crap because people in those areas are sketchy AF. Like I endured that so that I could achieve more, you know what I mean? And then to have someone just be like, I'm just gonna come take it from you. Like, I know people do worse things than that, unfortunately, but like, it's just a crappy feeling. It's like to spit in your face, basically. That's how it feels, you know? It's less about the item and more about like the disrespect. Thank you. Somebody gonna give you a hard time. That's my brother. Yeah, you get it. I'm sure some people have experienced the same kind of thing. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Or like people trying to break into your house, you know? I've never had that happen, but like one of my best friends, she had someone try to break into her house. And it's like, imagine you go somewhere and you come back home and somebody just stole all of your stuff, you know? Like it's just like such a violating, crappy feeling. And also it's just a gross feeling. Like this scummy person was all over my stuff. Like this is not that these things matter, that you can't take it with you obviously, but just knowing that your safe space has been like disturbed or like, it's just, ugh. It's just a gross feeling with like a trashy human like that, you know? Look how much people tell me, it's crazy. I love it. I love coming on here and, you know, relating to people. It's crazy how many people have been through like similar things, you know? I'm stuck in my head again. I'm back on that again. But I never got back, especially my personal photos. I'm so sorry. And that's the thing too, a lot of times it's like, okay, somebody in my neighborhood, you guys, like, oh, this is so heartbreaking. So there's somebody in my neighborhood right now. There's never been any type of like theft or anything, any problems like in this neighborhood. But I'm assuming it's like teenagers. That's why which, I mean, whatever. But somebody in my neighborhood, she put out like a thing on our community page and was like, if anybody knows any information, there was a package stolen on my front porch, and it's my 6-year-old's medication that would cost me $1,500 out of pocket to replace. And it was like somebody stole it, and you know, she just said that like she doesn't know, like they were probably just trying to see what it was, and like they were just trying, but like when they realized what it was and like it's no use to them, they probably just threw it away. And she's over here like pleading, like trying to get that medication because her son needs it, and it's like, ugh, it just nauseated me. I was like bawling my eyes out reading it, and I was like, girl, you need to start a GoFundMe. Like, we will all chip in. That is ridiculous. They use their pools and showers? Huh? They go use their pools and showers? It's like, yeah, exactly. It makes you want to move. You're like, all right, I'm out. Never had that happen, thankfully. I'm glad. It's just a gross feeling, but horrible person does that. Yeah. Took my 2 dogs. Oh my gosh. See, and that's the stuff that really matters. It's like, dang, somebody just did that to be cruel. It's like so many girls just walking after me. Install security cameras. You mean her? Like that lady? She just moved into the place, actually, ironically enough. What just happened? My thing just like froze up. Yeah, she was moving in, so she will. Okay, I guess I'm done. I don't know what happened to the treadmill. I'm well over 12,000 steps though. You're not home and take showers and take your stuff? What the crap? Yeah, I mean, I have security cameras all over my house, but that is also because, unfortunately, before these things happen, if you're a somewhat good person, like just a decent person, you've never thought to do these things to other people, so you don't have the type of security cameras until something bad happens to you or someone you know or love or whatever. So like then you put up those type of cameras, and that's why I have them, is because bad things happened to me when I didn't have cameras. Thank you. And they were expensive machines. Yeah. Yep. I know, I feel so bad for them. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna head off of here. Treadmill servicing. No, but like sometimes if I use my treadmill a little bit too much, I think it gets a little bit like burnt out. Which is kind of a flex because it gets burnt out before I do. But make sure you're following. I was just on earlier. I'm normally live every single morning at 8 a.m. But today I came on earlier and all that. But sometimes I come on later on in the day, so make sure you turn on your notifications. I might be on later today. Before you do? You overworked it. I know. It's a flex, you guys. Just embrace it, you know? I think I'm gonna go to the movies though today, so I'm excited. I need some popcorn. Now who's flexing? All right, I'll see you guys later.